Hey everyone, Charlie Morgan here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to deal with low motivation. My name is Charlie Morgan. I became a millionaire at 21, a multi-millionaire at 22, and I'm 28 years old. I made $40 million online, and I've been able to do that in spite of having very low motivation at times. There's been periods of my life where I haven't really wanted to work, but I've done it anyway. And so the question is, if you want to get rich or be successful anywhere, is how do you do what you know you need to do when you don't want to do it? And the answer really lies in two different forms. There are two forms of motivation. The first is psychological and the second is biological. And so we can split this idea into two different categories. Now, biological motivation is very straightforward. This is when you feel biologically compelled to take a specific action because your body says so. And we're not really too concerned about this because if you need to go to the bathroom, you're going to be motivated to do so. If you need to eat food, you're going to be motivated to do so. If you're thirsty, you're going to be motivated to do so. Your body is very good at regulating itself, and it will use hormones and chemicals and neurotransmitters to make sure that you're doing the right thing biologically. So the question here really is psychology. But what we need to do is use the biological motivation factor to make the psychological one work. So stick with me here and I'll show you exactly how. So as you're probably aware, as a student of life and of YouTube, a chemical called dopamine exists in your head, okay? And dopamine is basically the neurotransmitter responsible for anticipation, reward, and motivation. Now, there's lots of other neurotransmitters. It's not just dopamine. You've got acetylcholine, you've got serotonin, but dopamine really is the main thing. And here's the thing. Your brain works on what is called a scale of contrast, okay? Now, the reason that you probably feel demotivated or completely unmotivated, you don't feel demotivated or unmotivated in general. You feel demotivated or unmotivated specifically in relation to the thing you know you need to do but don't want to do it. Because I'm sure you'd have every motivation in the world to scroll on Instagram or go and eat junk food or go and play video games or something. And so this is the problem. It's not that you have a lack of motivation, it's just that the motivation and the dopaminergic reward association with different actions is being channeled into the wrong thing. And so right now you've got things that are bad for you and you've got things that are good for you, and your dopamine has to flow somewhere. And this is the thing, is the brain loves, let me repeat this, loves the path of least resistance, which means that it likes to do things that are easy and feel pretty good. And so what it will basically do is, if you've got bad behaviors in your life, like short form content, video games, addictions, etc., smoking, vaping, drinking, whatever, it's very hard to find the motivation to do the bad things, because here's how your brain works. Thing called an action, okay? And we then have this thing called a reward, okay? And the bridge between these two things is a little bit of time. The way your brain works is it wants to do the easiest action for the most reward with the smallest amount of time, okay? And so when you think about something like Instagram Reels, or when you think about something like pornography or junk food, the actions very, very easy. Like a video game, for example, there's no calorie expenditure. You're just moving your thumbs or typing on the keyboard and lounging in your bed or whatever, wherever you play your video games. So it's an easy action. The action's very easy and the reward is very significant. And the thing is the reward feels bigger when the action is easier. And then there's such little time. So when you shoot something in a video game and you kill that thing, you receive this instantaneous reward through hit markers, through points, through levels, etc. And the latency between, or the delay, if you'd like, between the action and the reward is instant. And this is what we call IG, or instant gratification. And the reason that you feel so demotivated at the moment is because your brain is wired to repeat instant gratification feedback loop. And so when your brain ticks on easy action, instant result, amazing result, then it's very hard to get used to anything else. And so the reason that you're struggling with low motivation right now, and the way to fix this, is to stop partaking in these instant gratification behaviors. Because let's take working out, for example. So let's say that the result you want is you want to be 10% body fat and like 80 kilograms, right? So you want to be like shredded and jacked, whatever, right? It's like the action is hard because you've got to be in a calorie deficit, you've got to work out, you've got to do cardio. Now, the result is amazing. I'm sure that if I asked you, would you rather be level 126 on RuneScape or be 10% body fat, 80 kilos, you'd probably take the body, right? Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know how you feel about RuneScape. The result's amazing. The action's very difficult, but here is the thing. The amount of time it takes to go from working out every day, dieting every day, cardio every day, discipline every day to getting to that result could be like, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3 years, depending on where you start. And right now, your brain is so used to doing something, getting the reward within maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Maybe it's Deliveroo, your junk food problem, right? The action is order the food, and then it maybe takes 30 minutes, and then you receive the reward of the action. And so you're so programmed and used to receiving reward from action and to having that tick over within seconds, minutes, or under an hour. And that's a real problem, because now the reason you cannot do hard things is not because they're hard, but just because there's no reward immediately. And so what we need to do instead is change from instant gratification to, you've probably heard of this term before, delayed gratification. How do you expect your body and your mind to go and do hard things when the reward might take a month, 2 months? I mean, shit, if you want to build a business and become a millionaire, it took me 3 years of like 16 hours a day in an office, just grinding to get anything remotely close to becoming a millionaire. And it took like 3 years of deep suffering, but that was because I'd removed all of these instant gratification loops from my brain, which meant that I could actually attach my dopamine receptors. And that's how this works, folks. You metaphysically, spiritually attach your receptors to actions that you know produce results in the long term. And then your dopamine channel sort of enables you to think in longer term time horizons, and therefore your motivation to work skyrockets. Now, if you're interested in making money, there is a link in the description you can click. I've got a free training program. It's free. You don't have to buy anything. You can trial it. There's no credit card required, but it's a pretty sick program. It teaches you how to start a business and make money and stuff. At least I hope it will. I've got 65,000 people in there, and they all seem to love it. So you can join for free if you want. Anyway, have a good day. See you later.